Hey guys, welcome back for another video. What we're going to do today is we'll be looking at all of our Major League Baseball games we have coming up for Thursday, July 3rd. There is 10 games in total today. It is July 3rd. This season is flying by. We are almost at the midway point. It is almost the All-Star break. It's crazy. The season's flying by. But what that means is these series are starting to mean a whole lot more for those teams that are hoping to position themselves for a playoff run. We're going to look at all 10 of our games today, break them down, try to predict the outcome. Who's going to win, who's going to lose, what the final scores might be. And we'll also be taking an in-depth look at our best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders. First things first, though, if you're a baseball fan, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We go over every game, every day, this entire season, breaking them all down, so make sure you're following along with us. If you have any comments, do you agree with us today? Do you disagree with us? What are your thoughts on these games? Make sure to drop a comment down there, and I will make sure that I respond to every single one of them. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, look down at the pinned comment below. You can click on that link down there, and I would definitely appreciate that. We are going over every game this entire season, and once the football season starts, we do the same thing for football. That's NFL, that's college football. We do predictions, we do best bets for all the matchups. Guys, if you are a sports fan, baseball fan, football fan, doesn't matter. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We have 10 games today. Let's not waste any more time. Let's start running through these matchups. The very first game we're going to take a look at is going to be at 12:10 p.m. on MLB Network. We have the 41 and 45 Minnesota Twins. This team has been all over the place this season. Awful month of April, one of the best months of May, kind of fell off towards the end of the month of June. They were like 6-7 games over 500 when June started. They now find themselves 4 games under 500. They got to position themselves, fight your way back to 500 before the All-Star break. They'll be playing the 38 and 46 Miami Marlins. One thing about the Marlins is they've been playing some pretty competitive baseball the last 3 weeks, very competitive games. Right now, Miami a 51.4% chance to win this game. The Twins a 48.6%. Minnesota 1.5 run favorites. 8.5 over under. The Twins are minus 120. The Marlins are even right now. Minnesota, the issue's not necessarily their offense. The month of June, their pitching went from 3.5 runs per game up to 4.2. They've been giving up way too many runs the last 4 weeks. But on offense, they're averaging 4.2 runs a game. Hitting 241, 96 home runs, pretty decent power. 40 steals, giving up 4.21 runs per game. And for the Marlins, the issue for them is also not their offense. It mainly hinges around their starting pitching, but mainly their bullpen. They're averaging 4.3 runs a game. 254 average, that's pretty good. 72 home runs, 67 steals, but they do give up 4.89 runs per game. Looking at the pitching matchup, we like to call it what it is. This game can get away from both of these teams very quick. This is setting up to be a very, very sloppy pitching matchup. There might be a lot of runs here. David Festa on the mound for the Twins. 2-2 record, a 5.4 ERA, 36.2 innings, 38 strikeouts, 6 home runs in 36 innings. And then Perez on the mound for the Marlins. He had a really good season last year. Hasn't really picked up so far this year, but very small sample size so far. 0-2 record, a 6.19 ERA, 16 innings, 14 strikeouts, 10 walks in 16 innings. He has to get his control under command. With both pitchers with over 5.4 ERAs, the game might be a fun one to watch if you like runs. I'm going to go with the Marlins pulling off the upset winner. I'm going to go with the plus 1.5, and I'm going to go with the over. And our second game of the day, also on MLB Network at 3:10 p.m., the 51 and 34 Houston Astros. This team, when April ended, they were under 500. Now, when July starts, they find themselves 17 games over 500. Props to them. They are a veteran, experienced team. First place by a lot in the AOS. They basically own that division right now. They'll be facing the 19 and 66 Colorado Rockies. The Rockies are the worst team in baseball. It's not close. They have an awful offense. They have an awful pitching staff, but they do hit a lot of home runs. They have been playing competitive baseball the last 3 weeks, but it hasn't necessarily translated into wins. It's just been a couple close losses. Right now, Colorado, 36.2% chance to win this game. Houston, a 63.8%. The Astros are 1.5 run favorites. 11.5 over under. Whenever you see a double-digit over under, there's a very good chance that it's a Colorado Rockies game. Right now, Houston, minus 180. Colorado's plus 150. The Astros are averaging 4.2 runs a game. Like I said, veteran, experienced ball club. 255 average, 91 home runs, 47 steals, giving up 3.47 runs per game. That should be no surprise. This team has been able to pitch for the last 5 to 10 years. Colorado, 3.5 runs a game. That's bottom 5 in baseball. 227 average, that's bottom side. 79 home runs, 45 steals, getting a 5.5 runs per game. If that is not the dead last worst overall pitching staff in baseball, it is second to last. They have to get that pitching under control. Looking at the matchup today, Brandon Walter on the mound for the Astros. 1-1 record, 3.34 ERA, 29.2 innings, 30 strikeouts. How about only 2 walks in 29 innings? That's actually pretty good. He's going up against the veteran Kyle Freeland right now, 1-9 record. He's in search of his second win right now, 5.56 ERA, 77.2 innings, 59 strikeouts. He's given up 106 hits in 77 innings. That is putting a lot of guys on base here. Do not flirt with disaster. Give me the Astros to win this game, to cover the spread. Surprisingly enough, I'm going to go with the under here. And a very interesting matchup at 6:45 p.m. We're going to have the 54-32 Detroit Tigers versus the 35-50 Washington Nationals. Some people say that the Detroit Tigers are the best team in baseball. If they're not the best, they are number 2 or 3. Point is, they are one of the best, one of the most rounded teams in baseball. They have power. They can hit for average. They get guys on base. They draw walks. They don't steal bases, but they have a top 5 overall pitching team. This team is deadly. Great lineup here. Great pitching staff. Great bullpen. They'll be facing these Washington Nationals. These Nationals, younger squad, but actually a fairly competitive team. They don't have a bad offense. A lot of their issues are based around the pitching. Right now, Washington, 44% chance to win this game. Detroit, first place in the AL Central, tied for most wins in baseball, and they have a 56% chance. The Tigers, 1.5 run favorites. The over in here is 9.5. Detroit is minus 161. Washington is plus 135. I would say, looking at this game, honestly, the Nationals have a decent chance to pull off the upset. They are coming off of a doubleheader yesterday. Both of these bullpens might be very drained. Even so, you still have to give the Tigers an edge bullpen-wise, because if the Nationals bullpen is drained, it wasn't good to begin with, let alone being wore out. We did pick them to split the doubleheader yesterday. Tigers win game 1, Nationals win game 2. That is exactly what happened. Right now, the Tigers, 5 runs a game. That's a really good offense. 256 average, 106 home runs. That's top 10 in baseball. 30 steals, giving up 3.44 runs per game. That's a top 5 overall pitching staff. The Nationals are averaging 4.4 runs a game. That's not bad at all. 244 average, 85 home runs, 74 steals. At least they're balanced on offense, giving up 5.01 runs per game. That's a top 6 overall pitching staff. Jake Irvin on the mound for the Nationals right now. 6-3 record, but a 4.73 ERA, 99 innings, 71 strikeouts. He's given up 19 home runs. He's a little susceptible to the long ball. And then you have Enns on the mound right now for the Tigers. 1-0 record, a 0 ERA, but it's only 5 innings with 4 strikeouts. Very, very small sample size. But I trust the Tigers bullpen, especially if this game turns into a long reliever game. But Jake Irvin, he's not a bad pitcher, so there's the possibility here that they could definitely pull off the upset. But I'm still going to go Tigers winning this game, covering the spread. And again, I'm going to go with the under here. And on MLB Network at 7:07 p.m., the 48-37 New York Yankees, right now first place in the AL East versus the 47-38 Toronto Blue Jays. These teams are neck and neck, both hailing out of the AL West. Matchup for matchup, this is one of those games that can go either way. This series will decide who finishes it first place in their division. Right now, the Yankees 54.7% chance to win this game. Toronto a 45.3% chance. New York is 1.5 run favorites. 8.5 over under. The Yankees are minus 125. The Blue Jays are plus 105. But this is one of those games, in my personal opinion, it is a 50-50 matchup. You can make a very strong case here for either one of these ball clubs to pull away with the win. The Yankees do have a top 10 overall offense, 5.1 runs per game. Yes, they've been lagging the last couple weeks, but we know what the potential is there. We know that they have Aaron Judge. He's a one-man machine. 358 average, 30 home runs, 67 RBIs. The team is hitting 253, 126 home runs. That's good for number 2 in baseball, just behind the Dodgers. 59 steals, giving up 3.46 runs per game. That is a top 6 overall pitching staff. And for Toronto, they've had really hot bats, I'd say, the last 3 to 4 weeks. They were not achieving their potential the first 2 months. They really took off about the midway point of the month of June because they've been hitting a lot of home runs. That's what's been carrying this team. They're averaging 4.4 runs a game, hitting 256, 83 home runs, 44 steals, giving up 4.2 runs per game. Looking at the pitching, Clark Schmidt on the mound for the Yankees, career 3.8 ERA. So far this season, really good start to the season. 4-4 record, a 3.09 ERA, 75.2 innings, 72 strikeouts, only 8 home runs given up. Chris Bassett on the mound. Chris Bassett's been rocked the last 2 starts, but he's one of the most consistent pitchers in baseball week in, week out, year in, year out. For his career, about a 3.7 ERA. So far this season, he was really consistent to those last 2 starts. His ERA has ballooned up to 4.29, 7-4 record, 94.1 innings, 93 strikeouts. But when I look at this game, it honestly scares the crap out of me because I can see either one of these teams winning it. I'm going to go with the Blue Jays pulling off the upset win here. I'm going to go with the plus 1.5, and I'm going to go with the over. And at 7:10 p.m., we have an NL matchup versus NL matchup. We have the 48-37 Milwaukee Brewers, one of the hottest teams in baseball, carrying over from the month of June. They've continued that momentum. This team has everything right now: power, speed, batting average. They have great pitching. They'll be facing the 48-38 New York Mets. They might have had the worst last 2 to 3 weeks in all of the major leagues right now. Their offense has become anemic. Pitching staff, a lot of injuries piling up right now, but still, do not underestimate this team. They have a really good lineup. They have a veteran lineup, 1 through 3, Lindor, Soto, Alonso. They got to get them all on the same page, get that 4 through 9 hitting. And even though they had the number 1 ERA as a team through the first 2.5 months, they kind of fell off the last couple weeks, but still, they still have a top 6 overall pitching staff. Right now, New York, 56.2% chance to win this game. Milwaukee, a 43.8%. The Mets are the favorites today. 1.5 run favorites, 8.5 over under. New York is minus 155. Milwaukee's plus 130. Right now, the Brewers, not a team that you want to be playing right now. 4.7 runs a game, 247 average, 79 home runs, 99 steals. That's top 4 in baseball. Extremely aggressive on the bases, getting their runners in scoring position. And on top of that, they're only giving up 3.77 runs a game. And they have a much healthier bullpen than the Mets right now. Do not underestimate that. The Mets, 4.3 runs a game. They have to get that number up. This is a team with a massive payroll. They need a lot more runs per game than that. 245 average, 109 home runs. They have very decent power, but a lot of solo home runs. 64 stolen bases, a 3.46 runs per game. 2 weeks ago, that was 2.9. It has ballooned up a lot, but still, overall, very respectable. Looking at the pitching today, you have Jose Quintana on the mound for the Brewers. Don't forget, this guy pitched for the Mets last season. He had a great year last year. He's picked up exactly where he left off. 6-2 record, 3.3 ERA, 60 innings, 41 strikeouts. David Peterson on the mound for the Mets, 5-4 record, a 3.3 ERA. These guys have the same exact ERA, 95.1 innings, 83 strikeouts. Both pitchers have only given up 6 home runs. This is one of the better pitching matchups of the day, and a lot is riding on this. The Mets need this win badly. They cannot afford to get bombed again. They got to get some momentum here going up to the break. Give me New York to win this one, to cover the spread, and I'm going to go with the under. Very low scoring game. And at 7:15 p.m., we have an East versus West matchup. The 42-42 Los Angeles Angels, third place in the LS, versus the 38-46 Atlanta Braves, third place in the NL East. The Braves have been everywhere this season. They've been up, they've been down. Started out the season awful, they got hot, and then they went back to awful. Now they're back to being a competitive ball club, but the Braves need every single win that they can get. They got to get their way back to 500. This team is massively underperforming, but we know the talent's there. Roster's healthy right now. They have Acuna back. They have Strider back. The Braves have a 50.2% chance to win this game. The Angels a 49.8%. That is practically a 50-50 split with the fan vote. The Braves, though, 1.5 run favorites with Vegas, 9.5 over under. Atlanta is minus 145. Los Angeles plus 120. Right now, the Angels, they don't have the best hitting team batting average-wise, but when they hit, they mostly hit home runs. Top 4 overall in total home runs. They're averaging 4.3 runs a game, 229 average, 124 home runs. Like I said, that's top 4. 37 steals, giving up 4.58 runs per game. And for the Braves, 4.1 runs a game, 244 average, 84 home runs, 42 steals, giving up 3.76 runs per game. That number has slowly been coming down every week, but they lost more pitchers to the bullpen. This team's pretty banged up right now. They're going to have Bryce Elder on the mound for the Braves, 2-5 record. 5.82 ERA, 68 innings, 57 strikeouts. He's been putting a lot of guys on base here. 76 hits, giving up 14 home runs in 68 innings. He's going up against Jose Soriano. The Angels, they're not an awful pitching team. They're not a good pitching team, but Jose Soriano has been on point this entire season. Career 3.9 ERA so far this season, 5-5 record, 3.99 ERA, just barely under 4, 97 innings, 84 strikeouts, only 4 home runs in 16 games. That's really good, but he is walking a lot of guys. 45 walks, practically a walk every other inning. But give me the Angels to pull off the upset here. I'm going to go with the plus 1.5, and I'm going to go with the over. And on MLB Network at 8:05 p.m., the 40-43 Cleveland Guardians. This team is not getting any love right now. They'll be playing the 50-35 Chicago Cubs. The Cubs are what they are. They are one of the better teams in baseball. They have a great offense. They have power. They have speed. This team can also pitch. Right now, Chicago a 67.9% chance to win this game. Cleveland a 32.1%. The Cubs are 1.5 run favorites. 8.5 over under. Chicago is minus 160. Cleveland is plus 135 right now. The Guardians, their offense has kind of been lacking the last couple weeks. Pitching's been falling off. They got to completely get the whole team back on track. They're averaging 3.7 runs a game, 226 average, 81 home runs, 65 steals, getting off 4.03 runs per game. Pretty much the whole season, they were hovering around 3.75 to 3.8, so that number has climbed the last couple weeks. That can make the difference here. The Cubs, a top 3 overall scoring offense, 5.4 runs a game. 256 average, 124 home runs, that's top 4 in baseball. 100 stolen bases, that is top 2 in baseball. This team is extremely aggressive on the bases. They can beat you multiple ways, they can out-hit you. They can also out-pitch you, only giving up 3.87 runs per game. The Cubs have Cade Horton on the mound. 3-2 record of 4.8 ERA, 45 innings, 33 strikeouts. He gives up a lot of runs, but at least he has a pretty decent bullpen, and he has a team that can score runs to back him up. Luis Ortiz on the mound for the Guardians, 4-9 record, 4.36 ERA, 88.2 innings, 96 strikeouts. What kind of worries me there is he's given up 42 walks in 88 innings. I don't want runners on base here with a team as aggressive as Chicago. They steal bases, they can get base hits, they can get home runs. Their offense is too balanced. Give me Chicago to win this game to cover the spread, and I'll go with the over. And at 9:40 p.m., a West Coast matchup, NOS versus NOS, the 45-41 San Francisco Giants. Overall, the team's having a great start to the season, but they have not played their best baseball the last 2 weeks. They were well over 500. Now they're only 4 games over 500. They got to rebound. They just got to rally the wagons here, get things back on track. They'll be facing off versus the 43-42 Arizona Diamondbacks. This team is closing in on them right now. One of the best offenses in baseball. They don't have a good pitching team, but they can outscore you. Right now, the Diamondbacks a 50.1% chance to win this game. San Francisco a 49.9%. That's a 50-50 there with the fans. The Giants, 1.5 run favorites. The over-under is 8.5. San Francisco, -110. Arizona, -109. So even Vegas is making the case very clear. Either one of these teams are more than capable of winning this game, and there's a lot riding on this game because both these teams want to separate themselves from the other, position themselves for after the All-Star break to make a run at the playoffs. Right now, the Giants, 4.2 runs a game. They don't have a great offense. They don't have a bad offense, but they're known for their top 5 overall pitching. They're hitting .230, 79 home runs, 44 steals, only giving up 3.38 runs per game. That's top 5 in baseball. The Diamondbacks, 5.2 runs per game, 254 average, 120 home runs. It's top 5 in baseball. 62 steals, giving up 4.78 runs per game. And they do give up a lot of runs. That is a fact. But they score a lot of runs. They just have to outscore you. A win is a win. Looking at our pitching matchup for the day, you have the young guy, Brandon Pfaadt, on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Career 5.13 ERA. This season, 8-5 record. 8-5 record. Not the best ERA, 5.38, but whenever he pitches, he gets a lot of run support. 85.1 innings, 72 strikeouts, and Robbie Ray on the mound for the Giants. This guy's a veteran. He's experienced. He knows how to pitch. He knows how to face great offenses. He's having a career year this season. 8-3 record, 2.75 ERA, 98.1 innings, 110 strikeouts. A lot of walks here, 38 walks, but he's not letting them score, so it doesn't matter. What I will say is the Giants need a win here. They have to salvage themselves before the All-Star break. Who better to have on the mound than the veteran Ray? Give me San Francisco to win this game, and I'm going to go with the under here. And what might be actually the most competitive pitching matchup of the day. At 10:10 p.m., our second to last game, the 40-46 Kansas City Royals. This team, one of the worst, if not the worst, overall offense in baseball, but they have a top 5 overall pitching staff. I feel so bad for these pitchers. They never get any run support. Just give them 4 runs per game, and you'd be well above 500. They'll be facing the 44-41 Seattle Mariners up and down this whole season. But of note, they are on the upswing right now, a very balanced offense. Right now, KC, 31.8% chance to win this game. Seattle, a 68.2%. The Mariners are second place in the AL West. Kansas City, fourth place in the AL Central. Seattle, 1.5 run favorites. 7.5 over-under. Kansas City's plus 135. Seattle's minus 160. KC with that awful offense, 3.3 runs per game. They have to find ways to get guys on base. They have to find ways to generate some home runs. One of the worst power hitting teams in baseball. 245 average. 58 home runs, 64 stolen bases, a 3.46 runs per game. That is playoff caliber pitching right there. They just need some help from the lineup. Seattle, 4.6 runs a game, 247 average, 107 home runs, that's top 10. 79 stolen bases, that's top 10, giving up 3.92 runs per game. Obviously, KC has a pitching edge, but Seattle has a very, very definitive hitting edge. Right now, Seth Lugo on the mound for the Royals. Finished last season second place for the Cy Young in the American League last season. This season, he's having another good year. 5-5 record, 2.74 ERA, 88.2 innings, 76 strikeouts. But it is what it is. He's probably pitching here. He is probably going to find himself on the trading block very soon. But elite numbers there. He's pitched more than good enough to have more than 5 wins right now. Brian Wu on the mound for the Mariners. Whenever they need a good start, this is one of their foundational guys. Gives you great games, game after game. 7-4 record, 2.93 ERA, 101.1 innings, 96 strikeouts. This guy eats up a lot of innings. Only 17 walks in 16 games. That's just over 1 walk per game. Gotta love it. Not flirting with disaster here. Won't matter because the Royals don't have hot bats. Give me the Mariners to win this game to cover the spread, and I'll go with the over. And our final game of the day definitely has some discrepancies. Two teams going in completely different directions. At 10:10 p.m., we have the 28-57 Chicago White Sox. They lost 121 games last season. They're not going to lose that many this season. They are better than they were last year. They're actually a very competitive team, but they have an awful record right now. But one interesting thing to note is a lot of very, very close 1-2-run losses. Point is, they're a competitive ball club. They'll be facing the 54-32 Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers, the best overall roster in baseball. The only thing holding them back, 15 pitchers on the DL. Their pitching has been completely decimated, but the roster is so talented, they still find ways to win. Right now, the Dodgers, first place in the very competitive NL West. They have a 75.4% chance to win this game. Chicago, a 24.6%. The Dodgers are such heavy favorites. It's kind of scary. Sometimes you feel like you might be getting set up by Vegas here. Right now, LA, they are 2.5-run favorites, 9.5 over-under. The Dodgers are minus 285. Chicago is plus 230. Crazy numbers. Chicago, one of the worst offenses in baseball, 3.4 runs a game, 222 average. That batting average is awful. They have to find ways to generate runs, get your runners on base. 65 home runs, 57 steals, getting a 4.1 runs per game. The Dodgers, the best number 1 overall offense in baseball, 5.6 runs a game. 263 average, 133 home runs. That's just ahead of the Yankees for number 1, first place in baseball. 45 steals, again, 4.22 runs per game. That's obviously not good, but 15 pitchers on the deal. You got to give them a little bit of a pass there. Right now for the White Sox, Aaron Savale on the mound, 104 record, 4.74 ERA, 38 innings, 29 strikeouts, but he's going up against this Dodgers lineup, this stacked lineup. Dustin May is not having his best season right now, having a very outlier year. But he's a veteran, he's been pitching for a couple seasons now. He should get things back on track at some point, but we do continue to wait for him. 4-5 record, 4.68 ERA, 82.2 innings, 75 strikeouts. A lot of walks here. 35 walks, 78 hits. He's putting a lot of guys on base here. Like I said, we keep waiting for him to wake up. Hasn't happened yet, but at some point, statistically, he is due to have a great outing. Give me the Dodgers to win this game, to cover the spread, and I'm going to go with the over. Guys, that's my breakdown, my predictions, my picks for all of our games coming up for Thursday, July 3rd. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, whether you agree with me, disagree with me, what are your thoughts on these games? Let me know below, and I will make sure that I respond to every single comment. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, look down at the pinned comment below. You can click on that link, and I would definitely appreciate that. And of course, as always, thank you for watching.